Chichi Badai, Soma de Mahala, Soma Ba, Soma Blackbird, Soma de Mahala, Soma Ba, Soma Cling Cling, Soma de Mahala, Soma Ba, Chichi Badai. Welcome to Housekeeping Tips with Shar. In today's video, we'll be doing a little culture talk. Yeah, culture talk. I will be focusing on one of our symbol, our flag. Most Jamaicans, I should think all Jamaicans, know the color of our flag. But to each color, it represents something. Okay, the black in the flag represents historical struggles and hardship. The green, it's represent wealth and hope. The gold, mineral sources. A little deeper, or another part of our culture, it's about our meal. I'm telling you, every part, every little area, once you're a Jamaican, there is some culture to it. I mean, there are some things that we might not adopt as the younger ones, but there is culture, that culture is there. Like our breakfast, our lunch, or dinner, yes, there's some culture to it. Breakfast, first thing, a kid or, get up, especially in the country, we'll say, are you gonna make breakfast? They'll say, me want me tea, me ready for me tea. They're talking about the same breakfast. Okay, breakfast. Me go drink me tea. Okay, they're talking about breakfast. It's like they have this thing like they're eating dinner or whatever. Kids, especially in the country, they say me eating me food. Could be dinner, could be lunch, anything. Once it's food they're eating, they say, me I eat me food. Okay. In the mornings, we have some people, as I said, the culture is there, but it depends on you or, like the younger ones. Boiled bananas, roasted breadfruit, sauteed callaloo, those, sauteed callaloo, steamed callaloo with salfish, S-A-A-L, salfish. They're talking about codfish, the same codfish, salted codfish, that's what we're talking about. And to top that off, I want a little bush tea. We have all kinds of bush, all kinds of bush. We have sorcy, we have mint, we have soursop leaves, and we have other bushes, which you call herbal bush. We call them the tea bush is what you call the herbal. And then mostly we talk about chocolate, the same one you talk about chocolate tea, a cup of chocolate tea, yeah. And you know how they do the processing in making that chocolate tea in Jamaica. It's cocoa. You pick it off the tree when it's ripe, and then you ox it or cut it, and then they say they ox it. Pick out the seeds. There are some little seeds inside of it, like white. It tastes a bit sweetish. That's the chocolate. It's like the seeds. Then they'll take them out, put them on like a zinc or something to dry. Put it in the sun, and they get, they dry. And when they dry, they have to dry properly. Then you have the Dutch pot, the iron pot, we call the Dutch pot. And then they put it on their fire and make it well hot. And when it's well hot, then they put that uh, cocoa, the cocoa, the same thing you call chocolate, made from, we call it cocoa, it's cocoa. And they would put it in the pot, and then they have like a stick, and they keep stirring it in the pot, right, with that flame under it, hot. And then those seeds, because they're already dried, become crisp and, we'd say parch, well dried. They have to do it properly because they got to put it into this thing that they call mortar. Mortar. It's something made out of wood. It's just round, and it has that deep area inside that you're gonna pour whatever. Like even the coffee. That's a process that they already, they would put the coffee through as well, and they store the chocolate or the cocoa. The seeds. Remember they dry, so we're storing them because we're gonna, we're parching them. We're gonna beat them, right? After they parch, they dry and crisp and everything. Then they cool. You get them, cool or warm. I would say, yeah, warm. Then you put it in the mortar, and then you have the stick and you beat it, and then you beat it until it's get like oily, yeah, gets oily, and the texture it becomes like just like if you would be making like dumplings, and that the flour, the dough, but this is not close like the dough, but I'm just saying the texture is something like that. And then after you beat it and it gets to that texture that you see like oil, and you can manage to make little things, little balls. Okay? You put the stick down, then you take it up and you make little balls with them, put them into container, and those little balls, they dry. And then you use your grater, because you're gonna make chocolate tea now because it's dry. So this is what you're gonna use to make the chocolate tea. And you put the water on the stove, let it come to a boil, then you use your grater. Some people don't have the grater, so what they do, they put it into like a piece of cloth, like they call it calico cloth, a piece of wool. I think it's something, what should I say, soft piece of cloth. Then you put the ball into it, that cocoa ball, and then you take something and you mash it out, put it in the pot. Remember, the water comes to a boil, you put it in the pot. And then when you put it in the pot, then it boils a little, and then when it boils, then you use your strainer and you strain that off into a cup, and that is when you get chocolate tea. That's how they do their process. It's chocolate tea. Mix it with milk and whatever, and you have that. If you don't want to have bush tea, then you can have your chocolate tea. Then for breakfast, normally Jamaicans would like something light. If like kids going to school and the school is nearby their home, then they would have that cornmeal porridge. They'll find something, some milk, something nourishing. And then they go back to school, and then you have dinner. The culture in Jamaica, dinner is always be that big meal, heavy meal. Like sometimes you want if they are cooking for other people more than just the family. But dinner always be the big one that you cook, like the yam, the dumplings, a little plantain, chicken, yeah? That's the dinner, okay? That's what they use. So it's like, as I said, the culture is so involved in everything. It's like Sundays. It's like in Jamaica, if you don't cook rice and peas, you don't feel like you're Jamaican, because Jamaicans cook rice and peas. You call it rice and bean, but they call it rice and peas. Every Sunday, that is like it's almost like the national dish, ackee and saltfish. Saturday, their tradition, soup, that beef soup with all those carrots, pumpkin, and all of that thing, right? Christmas, they'll make like Christmas, that fruit cake. If you're not a Jamaican, it's like, you're not having fruit cake in Christmas. You pass every homes, you smell that fruit cake baking. A matter of fact, it's another tradition. They soak that raisin, the raisin that you normally have. And they put it to soak. Some people have it to soak for like a year or even more, preparing to make that fruit cake in December. They also have sorrel. If you don't have sorrel, it's like you're not a Jamaican. Christmas, they have gungo peas. Instead of the red peas, they have gungo peas and rice. It's gungo peas and, instead of rice and peas, it would be rice and gungo peas. It's gungo peas, right? So Christmas, you have fruit cake, you have sorrel, and you have your gungo rice and peas. Easter, you have bun and cheese, that spice bun there. Yeah, if you don't have that, it's like you're not a part of Jamaica. So it's spice bun with cheese, that thick, nice cheddar cheese. And then, so you have Easter, and then you have Christmas, right? So it's like, as I said, in everything. We even go to church. It's like you get up early on a Sunday morning, on an Easter morning, and you go to church. There's tradition every single way you turn. Every way where you turn in Jamaica, everything that you do there is a tradition that goes with it. So we have breakfast, we have lunch, we have dinner. On Sundays we have our rice and peas. There's another thing we have on Sundays too. There's this thing, the carrot juice. Oh, and they put all this thing in it, stout and all these things, right? Jamaican have, as I said, Jamaican culture is so deep. We have a lot of things. I could go on and on. There's a lot of things. Red pea soup. There's so many things out there. If you're not doing that and you go elsewhere, abroad, wherever, if you're not doing that, you don't feel like, oh, I'm a part of Jamaica. Because that is the culture of Jamaica. Hope you find this video interesting. Not only that it's interesting, informative as well. Please like. Thank you for liking. Share. Thank you. Subscribe. Thank you. And continue having fun.